Hello and welcome to my explanation of the second meeting between Viola, Cesario and Olivia. So I recommend you watch it, have a look. It's this one here, and it starts at 1 hour 34, and you'll need a laptop to find it. I think you can't get it on your phone unless you're on to PC View. So I'll see how far I can get. I won't let the video be any longer than 10 minutes. What's happened just before? I do know that Viola and Feste have had their conversation. Viola has been like rumbled, feeling uncomfortable. Feste showing his knowledge of her and like that she is a her. And then we had a little bit of Satobi and Sir Andrew, and Sir Andrew realised how big an opponent Cesario is and is going to fight him later. And then we move into this scene, which is the second time that they've met. So the first time Olivia was interested in Cesario, and this time she woos him for herself, which is an inversion of roles. So let's have a look at what's on this beginning. So you're on extract 17, yeah, ready to write everything down in your booklet. So what's your name? Cesario is your servant's name, fair princess. My servant, sir, 'twas never merry world since lowly feigning was called compliment. Your servant to the Count Orsino, youth. And he's yours, and his must needs be yours. Your servant's servant is your servant, madam. Oh, him, I think not on him, for his thoughts I would they were blanks rather than filled with me. Madam, I come to wet your gentle thoughts on his behalf. And I hope you can, I've put in the modern English as well so you can see. So here is Olivia showing a personal interest. There we go, a personal interest to start off with, and Cesario or Viola rebuffing her. Your servant's name, reminding her of their roles, and fair princess being a very formal form of address. Olivia then fights back. My servant, you're not my servant. She's arguing about your servant to the Count Orsino, youth. So taking this dominant position, laughing at what he said, but Viola's having none of it. Your servant's servant is your servant, madam. So successfully arguing back. So Olivia has lost that little battle and changes onto, I don't think about Orsino, I think not on him. And Viola restates her purpose then. I've come to whet your gentle thoughts on his behalf. She won't be drawn into any other discussions. So Olivia responds, oh, by your leave, I pray you, I bade you never speak again of him. But would you undertake another suit? I'd rather hear you solicit that than music from the spheres. So she has come out, played her hand. So don't speak of him again, but undertake another suit, as in start being my suitor or wooing me. Music from the spheres is very, very, angels sing, they put there, very beautiful music. That would be the best thing I could hear. So she has come right out and said, and made a play for this man. Viola tries to stop her and she interrupts and goes on. So, give me leave, beseech you. I did send, after the last enchantment you did here, a ring in chase of you. So did I abuse myself, my servant, and I fear me, you. Under your hard construction must I sit, to force that on you in a shameful cunning which you knew none of yours. What might you think? So she starts off with an apology for sending the ring after him with Malvolio. Excuse me. And I like this enchantment. This is a real role reversal. It's women that are meant to bewitch and enchant men as a way of blaming women for when men go astray. And here she's saying that this man has bewitched and enchanted her. So it's all upside down. Topsy-turvy world. So she apologises. I did abuse myself, my servant, and you. Let's move on. So that's the apology. And carries on. Have you not set mine honour at the stake and baited it with all the unmuzzled thoughts that tyrannous heart can think? To one of your receiving enough is shown. A cypress, not a bosom, hides my heart. Well, let me hear you speak. So you can imagine in here, there could be a long gap when Viola doesn't say anything. So Olivia has to actually prompt her. So she's saying, look, come on, what are you thinking? I don't know what you're thinking. You must be thinking something. To one of your receiving enough is shown, come on, and she won't speak. So, okay, let me hear you speak. And she's talking in this, a cypress, not a bosom, hides my heart. So my heart, instead of being in my bosom, is actually in a coffin. That's the wood you use to make a coffin there. So, and this is, that word's been used before in Feste's song when he was ridiculing Orsino. And it's a cliche. So she's descending into this aristocratic love poetry cliche. So finally, Cesario speaks. I pity you. She's not taking any of it. She's not flustering. She's not trying to go along with it and get away with it later. Nothing. She's straightforward. Well, I pity you. We know, there's the audience looking at her. We know it's because Olivia is in here in love with a woman, and Viola knows she's in love with a woman, and that can never be. But Olivia makes the best of that. That's a degree to love, and pity's not bad. And Viola's not having it. No, it's not a degree to love, not a grise. It's a vulgar proof that often we pity enemies. So Viola has taken charge of the situation here. And Olivia looks here like she's accepted it. Why then? I think it's time to smile again. You know, might as well make the most of it and smile over my heartbreak. Oh world, how apt the poor are to be proud. If one should be a prey, how much the better to fall before the lion than the wolf. So she's aggrandizing herself, bigging herself up. Oh look, I can write it here. Aggrandizing. She just fancies someone, doesn't she? But she's talking herself as a prey before the lion and the wolf, in exactly the same way that Orsino does. So the clock upbraids me with the waste of time. Be not afraid, good youth, I will not have you. So it looks completely that she's given up and is, oh dear, oh poor me, here. But then you can have a long gap in here. I think there's a shoe thrown around somewhere in the Globe production. So she sounds like she's made her mind up, and then she completely changes her mind. And yet, when youth and wit... Oh no, I take that bit back, it's later on, isn't it? just cross that bit out because I'm not doing it. When wit and youth has come to harvest, your wife is like to reap a proper man. There lies your way, due west. Okay, I'll give in. Then westward ho, grace of good disposition, tender ladyship, it's all over. So that's the end of part 1.